Welcome in, everyone. We are still playing Beacon Pines by Hiding Spot and Fellow Traveler. We are in a version of Chapter 8. And if the ominous music lets you know what the feel is right now, let's just say that things are getting kind of crazy in Beacon Pines. Our protagonist, Luca, and his friends Rolo and Bex, Beck, they have discovered secrets about Luca's family, about Beacon Pines, the Valentines, the new company in town trying to revitalize things. Even some of the locals have secrets. And they are on their way to try and help? Stop things? Hard to say. But they have discovered a tunnel system, and it is time to continue the story. So we are on Chapter 8.
The cold, hard truth.
Let's see if we don't freeze to get to death today. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, pop over to my YouTube channel and check out the VODs. But I hope that you'll sit back, relax, and join me. Here we go.
Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rolo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
That was intense. Wow, that is very loud. Hold on. I need to adjust some audio for myself. Let me just turn the main volume down a little bit. That should help. There we go. Yeah. Think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold? Doesn't look like it got on any of us. I didn't feel like we traveled that far. So, where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Where are we? Can we go this way? We can. Oh, I don't recognize this map. Is there anything in the scenery that we can find? Does not look like it. Looks like we aren't getting back that way. Indeed, must be near the source. And they have said from the very beginning of the game that even though it was coming into spring, it was a bit colder than they were used to. Oh, wait a minute. This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow? No no time. Nuncreed's getting away. What? Okay. This is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed in all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. I got it! It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien! Rolo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. Miss Ma'am turned 2 today. Well, happy birthday, Miss Ma'am. May she become a wonderful rather than a terrible 2-year-old. But I wish you luck, Winter Fairy. Really, truly, I do. Was there a boom while traveling? Not that any of us experienced. Anyway, oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective? Kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. Young children. They cray-cray, but we love them. Well, the woods are fenced off. Probably for the best. There's toxic waste over here of some sort. Oh boy. The railing is gone.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
Well, maybe we'll get some answers.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you've dropped that, you've doomed this whole town.
Oh, but it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators.
Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing.
How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change.
Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets.
Now, that's unfair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
Okay, guys, we're about to get whatever conclusion that is coming for us, and it's gonna be ugly. So hold on to your seats.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness, he began to what? Well, we only have one option, and that is to weep. So, time for crying child.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This'll all make sense soon, Luca. And everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall.
Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act.
And once again, we all froze.
Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Well, we have no more branches to go on this one. We've done all that. 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 We've done both of those things. We've done this one. So all that we have left is the other branch. Now, in this branch, we managed to escape from Roxy. We managed to lose Rolo to people who grabbed him. We got bullied by Iggy. And in this branch, Iggy got splashed and is slightly mutated. And we are fending ourselves off from a mass amount of the clipboards. That's what happened. So, we will return to the chapter labeled MCDC, whichever number chapter that is, 1, 2, 3, like chapter 4 or 5. And we will, instead of trying to fight them with an ineffective weapon, we will try to run away. So, chat, here we go. Back into the story. We tried fight. We know it didn't work. All we have left is the option to flight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
Here we go.
He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5.
Ah, so that was the end of chapter 4. I was correct.
Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. So, it looks like there are 2 copies of Beacon Pines. The second copy of the town is where we were. And the first copy of the town is where we are, in a winter wonderland. This should be where our house is. It is the equivalent map to that. Luca, where are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Exactly, Trav. We did find out in a different branch that everyone was evacuated for a week for fumigation, and then they were returned to the town. It's possible that they rebuilt the town elsewhere and brought them back to that town because this town is now in permafrost. We don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. Okay, so I didn't really, explore this map up here, but this would have been the dandelion field that led up to the tree where our father's was buried. We can't get there because of this route, but that's the equivalent map. And again, this is where our house should be, but it's not there.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. 2 faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Looking for anything else before we look at the sign. Nope. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Aha! Making snowballs.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. No, we can't go out that way.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
This looks like the stuff they put up around Weep Wood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. Does this stuff look familiar to you? Looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into, yeah. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late. I think probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over. It's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever in understanding this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo were always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet and she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. Must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Aw, friends.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. This is how you remember them, huh?
Hey, look, they're children, Trav. I don't know what to tell you. Like Winterberry said, this game is absolutely nuts.
Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy.
Nostalgia, man. It's powerful.
You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all.
Yeah, I know. It's a very lovely and nostalgic pipe dream.
Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. Sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy-necked furball. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait! Do you live here? That is an excellent line. A friend, anyone's friend in particular, just generally well disposed. Such a good line. You might say that. So you know where we are? You also might say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up!
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood? Or we teleported to some alternate universe? Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica, nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. I know you called it, Trav. We know the tropes. Precise duplicate. Please underline that sentence. But yes, Trav, yes. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to bleh. Apparently, I don't read English. I just pretend. One moment. Discontinuity. a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. Somehow the narrator didn't trip off there. Whoopsies. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover...
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes darted back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home...
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weep Wood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks.
Why wasn't Luca's home there? There was just a gap because they moved the house. Luca's house was one of the houses they could move. The houses that they couldn't move, the buildings that were too big to move, they rebuilt. So Luca's house was moved, that's why.
The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth.
Also, even if you really did a perfect job faking the town and its contents, you still have to worry about the fact that it's somewhere else. That all the routes out are different. That the mountain is in a different place when you look out the window. You know, lot of things. Awesome idea, of course. Indeed, Trav, indeed. It is very difficult, especially in mountainous terrain, to completely make everything the way it was. But, well, apparently in this world it's possible. So, a feat of engineering that is insane. Or perhaps the adults knew that Beacon Pines was being moved. Who knows? We're just a kid. We're 12. We don't know everything.
He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you, but you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. $259K. Fall off distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. People who loved them will never know the truth. Truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Hahaha, weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover. Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kurt and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. What if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Oh boy. Well, it can get awful cold out here in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Ah, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Alright, checking the scenery for anything out of the ordinary. Can't even look at that anymore. Nothing here. Let's go. I can still pick this up. Ooh, that went a little crazy. Let's not break the game, please. I couldn't keep it with me. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I, came into some possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yup. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rolo got grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Well, seems like there were differences. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who's in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare to blast off, loser. Alright. Perennial Harvest's old building. Oh, hello. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Ooh, we needed that. Can't go that way. Here's the coffee shop. Can't go that way. Yes, I know that's the main quest. I'm gonna check everything. Can't do anything there. Okay. Only thing left is...
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes.
Yeah, oh no, indeed. It looks like it's double ice time again. Yeah.
Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. Why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr! Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drat, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It's really something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is, we all play our part in life. Mine just happens to be in a lead, in a role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There. That's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialities. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I throw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I am an exceptional liar. Bup, that's far enough. Nobody will be regretting this well in about 20 seconds anyway. Yeah, Trav, I know. Winter Fairy's like, nope.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool! Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
Did anyone else notice that the clipboards never turned away from Mr. Kerr as they retreated? Creepy! It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Oh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
I'm not even gonna attempt that. I don't know Phileas Young. Wow, can you believe this guy? Ah, but we got something.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's the only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. Makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Accept or refuse, chat. I think we're gonna do a poll. We're gonna do a poll because holy crap, I don't think I could choose. So it's poll time. It's gonna be a quick poll, so please, please, chat. Head to the top of the chat box or screen. Click on the poll and give me your votes. We will decide together what we do. Do we accept Iggy's choice or Iggy's request, or do we refuse him? This is just gonna go on for about 60 seconds, so the faster you put in your vote, the better it goes, and if you want to spend your channel points to duke it out with the rest of chat over your preferred choice, feel free to do that as well. But I don't encourage fighting in my chat, if at all possible, so please be courteous about whether you win or lose. Because remember, in this story, we are capable of seeing all of the choices in the end. But let us hope we choose well this time. Alright, chat, it looks like the poll has come to an end, and it's a deadlock. 50-50. I had to choose. You guys. You guys. You guys, you guys, you guys. We were all in this together, and now you're making me choose? Fine. I refuse to accept Iggy's request because, well, Luca and myself would try to save them. Would try to save them all. We're a good kid. So let's see if we can do it, huh? Let us see indeed.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away.
The founder? Sharper Valentine still alive?
A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Alright, let's see where we have choices. Ooh. We have a new choice over here on the solo run, but we are also developing this. So, do we go back and see the accept ending? What do you think, chat? Do we go back and see the accept ending? Oh, hells. Yeah, Daddy Valentine is still around. He did all of this. He stepped back after the foul harvest and decided to work on that instead. That's why both of the main factions are still crop harvest based. Yeah, I think Perennial Harvest and Valentine's Fertilizer has the same founder. Oh boy. Alright, let's go back in time and see what the accept option is. Since we get to see all the endings anyway.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? Hence the warping and aging, yeah. Do we get to see any missing people again later? Well, we don't know. I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder. Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Well, that's the end of that branch. We don't have anywhere else for this branch to go. So it looks like crying at the end is not the way to go. Now we can hum. I would like to, if you will allow me to, sidestep this and return back to a fairly the beginning, because I would like to do some of the mini games again. And we haven't had access to them in a while. We've been able to do the fishing mini game for a little bit, but I think I'm going to take an interlude. We're going to go back to Rendezvous with Roxy, and we're going to jump into the mini games for a little bit. The question here is, do we do the mini game with or without Rolo in tow? So, without Rolo, with Rolo. What do you guys think? I'm just going to run around until they let me back into the mini game, because we've got so many more charms, and I want to see if we can't finish them off. So, with or without Rolo, chat? It's gotten intense. Let's take a break. Let's remember simpler times. I'm not even going to put up a poll. Why don't you guys just let me know, with or without Rolo? Just let me know your thoughts. Winter Fairy, you're gonna make me choose? You're gonna make me choose? Okay, fine. I will choose. You guys like to throw me to the wolves anyways. I will do it without Rolo.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
So I'm gonna speed through this and not read it. A, to save my voice, and B, because we just want to go to the minigame, so... Speeding! Okay, bye, Fitz. Time to do some minigameage. Okay, not that one. So let's see if there's any new bait. And then we will have to progress to, I think, actually get to Miss Fratelli's. Aha, crooked.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
Careful. Careful. A little bit further, and... Come on. It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Aw, just a little bit longer. If things lasted forever, they might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, Buckaroo. If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, "Let's go fishing," and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yep, top secret. Neat. What a perfect day. Yeah. Alright, we found all of the fishing stuff. We have gotten all the trophies. There is no more new fishing stuff to find. So now I just have to finish the main plot enough to get to the other minigame. I think we have to make it as far as... No, the festival's not.
Lucan knew that if he gave up now, he'd...
We might have to go back to the tree and go all the way back. I was hoping that this would be okay, but we might have to go back to here to get to the diner. Or... no. Where is the branch where we had to deliver... At one point we had to deliver jam. Okay, Winter Fairy, please be safe. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. And see if we can't get into it. I'm just gonna go chill.
We were just gonna go chill for the day.
Sorry, I know I'm speeding through earlier plots, but we're just trying to get to the minigame, so... Let's see if we can't just... get to the plot. Get around the plot, I should say. Woo. Yes, hi Rolo, we're going. And he Simpson walks into Weepwood.
Chapter 2. Welcome to Beacon. For many years, it wasn't an over
Yep.
the neck until
Yep. Alright, let's see if we can't get to the minigame. I'm not talking to anyone. Aw, man, I gotta go to the treehouse. Okay. We do what we must. But we finished the fishing game, so we will speed run through this and... Yep. Mom's out there somewhere looking for Mom. We're gonna go check out the... Let's do this. Alright. Rolo took himself out. Let's see if we can't get to the minigame this time. Please. Still can't. Dang it. Not entirely certain where... Yep. And then we're back at this choice. So... since being chill didn't work out, we're probably gonna have to go with the other one. Yep. Sorry, guys. I thought backtracking a little further would help us get there, but nope. We gotta go further. We must go forward.
Rolo froze as Rox Luca knew he...
Alright.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
And we're off. Okay. Can we go back? Nope. We gotta go forward. We're ignoring everybody, ignoring everybody, ignoring... Oh, man. This one we can't get out of. Running, 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 running. Yeah, you would know, Mr. Nuncreed. Alright, he's gonna touch it. Zap. Alright, off we go.
As the glowing windows...
We're gonna... Something's going wrong. That's not a good thing to play in, Rolo. And that's why they took him. We try the door. Somebody's coming. We jump in the dumpster. It's gross in there. Walk dog time. How the clipboards didn't notice that there were 2 kids on the walkie-talkies at this point, I will never know. They're apparently always listening, after all. Problems. And a body bag. That can't be good.
The boy sat petrified. Rollo felt... He snapped off a tap. Rollo held the...
Dr. Prescott, Deep Engineering. Wonder what happened to Dr. Prescott. It does indeed open up a space for
Lucas
Bex's mom.
sat in the dark. 1:15.
Or Bex,
Screw it, Luca.
Mom.
Nothing. No sign of roll. Time to haul. Luca clicked. He was up beacon pine. He wouldn't remember throwing him. Chapter 3. Finding. The next morning, only this...
Okay, so we might be able to get to the minigame from here. We just have to get past Juniper.
Grant, she let...
Okay.
Luca was desperate until...
Yeah, we can't leave yet. We have to wait until Roxy
An
comes.
eerie electronic set.
Right. We have to get through this. I am only furthering the plot so I can get to the minigame.
Luca glanced. He wasn't. He wasn't. Luca glanced at the now. He wasn't sure what to think.
That was not good. Yeah, I'm coming, Roxy.
A pit.
Moving through. Rolo's
Luca's mouth
missing.
felt-
Come help. We're gonna look.
Luca could feel.
Still looking for Rolo. Okay. Hopefully now the diner is open and we can do the minigame. Talking to no one, talking to no one, skipping the clipboard, talking to no one. Interlude with Roxy and friends looking for Rolo. Now, we don't know where Rolo's being kept, but we do know who Rolo was being taken by. Ah, still can't get to it. Dang it. Okay. A little further up the path. We're supposed to go here.
Kata was Luca.
He's talking about bees. Alright, where do we have to go next? Hello, Beck.
Beck's family moved often, giving her. She would tell you. Luca shift.
My preferred way of meeting Beck.
Beck pulled a coin.
Alright, let's... I'm pretty sure we won't be able to go back, but we can try. Oh, it does let us go back. Can we get into it now? Nope. Okay. We will keep trying. I'm sorry, chat. If I knew exactly when I could get into this place, I would have gone to that choice, but I couldn't remember, so... Pretty sure there's a place that you can get into the diner on each of the path, like the main paths, but... Here we are at this choice. Yes, there is... We've actually played the minigame, but... We haven't finished it, is the thing.
Luca felt it her eye. The near.
I just don't remember what choice we can get to it at, is the thing.
Luca Beck's eyes first. As quickly as they.
Then why
Beck
are you
dropped the
asking
stick
if
with a grunt
we
of disgust.
are even sure there is a minigame in there? We know there is. Here comes the bullying. So this is another choice point that we have reached that I'm like speedrunning through. That's fair, Trav. That's fair. Memories can
Iggy
be a
took
little bit...
step to- Beck could something, but a bully. Beck took a deep.
I don't think this choice matters in what I'm trying to do, so I'm gonna go with strange again just because I thought it was funny.
Well, time to bust out the strange.
Alright, here we go. Beck is
Sticky
being crazy, giving them the silent
At the
treatment.
Iggy smirked. Iggy's close. Iggy's voice.
And then Iggy gets mutated.
The person at the whist was rolling.
Alright, time to leave. Then we run into Mr. Kerr, who lies to us. Are you in chapter 3 right now? I believe I am in chapter 3, yes. You've gone and looked, haven't you?
Beck
Trav, I know you. And so we go.
Rolo, a wave of granite if he hurt. Chapter 4.
Yeah, that was chapter 3, so now
Our
we're in chapter
harvest.
4.
Luca.
In chapter 3 and the epilogue? Interesting. So, which version of chapter 3 is it? Okay. Well, we can't leave. Not outside.
The house was.
So we
Luca
were
was sitting by
in
the
chapter
pond,
3,
listening
but
to
like
small-
which
His
version
father
of
sat
chapter
without
3?
caring. Why don't you grab me? Sure thing. Luca inside. Where Luca's well.
Okay.
Luca close, holding it. Interesting. With a practice, the water, the pond. Sometimes pallid. Luca's dad. Sorry. The relentless dad. His father. None of it's your dad. Luca grabbed his. Please. The ice.
Yep.
That's the thing of his chest. You toss a shock of. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen map. Luca tried to. He watched dad. The gentle.
I do not want you to look up spoilers. Absolutely not at all.
Luca's eyes. Faintly.
Okay, we're gonna go through this again.
Lolo's. But some.
I know we accessed it at some point, but it's a matter of finding which choice
helped
allows
us
us to
out.
access it.
Lolo's
That's really what we're getting at.
With that,
Which version of chapter 3?
Luca grabbed.
Alright. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get to it here. We
Luca heard a group of Hidak.
So... might only be this side that we can get to it in, then. Which means we have to be by ourselves? Because this is where we're at in the story. And this is like 1, 2, 3. We were in this branch's 3. This may in fact be where we need to be. Hard to say. I will try from this point and see if I can't get to it.
This is a story about change. It was far, but change the.
Okay.
There are many paths. Most will, and we will from here on out. Now,
Whoops. So we have to go to
this
struggle
is a
to
story
get
about
anywhere.
struggle. Luca could. He felt his hand. He yanked it. Let Lucas. He heard the with a muffled. Luca was. He. Chapter 3.
See, here we are back in this versions of chapter 3.
Everything's fine. The next, only this.
Okay, so this is probably the chapter 3 that we need to do. Because this is the delivery. So... yeah. Okay, now we know where the choice point is to get back to this minigame. That was a bit of a... thing. We know exactly who she's meeting. She's meeting Eris. Eris Valentine. Okay. So yeah, we can definitely get to the minigame from this choice point. Alright, let's ignore everyone, because we've been through it already. Now let's get to the minigame, because we can finally get to the minigame.
Luca squinted at the memories.
Here's the minigame. Finally. It looks like we don't have to redo anybody. Hello? Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Tulliver. Yeah, choo! Sorry, these allergies have been killing me. Haven't been able to smell a thing all day. I almost sold Miss Hatch a gallon of spoiled milk this morning. Got anything to help clear out these darn sinuses? Whatever it takes, I just want to be able to smell again. Alright, something to clear out the sinuses. So... Pungent or incendiary? I'm gonna go with pungent. And then... Incendiary, I think, is probably the best idea. Let's see if this works. I call this one a cod for the common cold. Oh my, that's spicy. And stinky. I'm sorry. I'll try again. No, don't you see what this means? I can smell again. Looks like your father isn't the only doctor in the family. Perfect. Ooh. Hey, Mrs. Hatch, what can I get you? Oh, I'm not terribly hungry. Something snack-sized, if you could. Okay. Snack-sized. No, no. Not lavish. Adorable. Yeah, that's snack-sized. And... Not lavish. Adorable again? An adorable? We'll double adorable it. I call it the novella. Lovely. Okay, that worked. I have a coupon here for one free burger. What'll it be? Well, I have a lot of mouths to feed, so give me the biggest burger you have. They must eat a lot, huh? You have no idea. Oh, and throw some lettuce on top. Well, we know what that is. We need to go with the lavish, tender, woo. I call it the too much is never enough. This should keep them at bay. Thank you. This just in. Last Chance Diner overrun by gremlins. I'm not a gremlin, I'm Luca.
Mr. Wilder adjusted his monocle jokingly.
I stand corrected. In that case, would you believe I have a craving for a burger? You've come to the right place. Indeed. I'll have a nice juicy burger topped with onion. All right, juicy burger topped with onion. Not the incendiary, obviously. Probably the succulent. Yeah. Juicy burger topped with pungent onion. Here you go. I call it the Wilder. You know, I love a good byline. Many thanks. Listen well, child. I am only going to say this once. I require a well-done burger. Got it. When I say well done, I mean it. Well done. No problemo. I fear you aren't grasping my request. I want the burger charred beyond recognition. I want it bitter and black. One burnt burger coming up. And top it with the most expensive thing you have. Oof. That sounds terrible. I would not eat this burger. But the incendiary is definitely what she's looking for. And the most expensive would be the lavish, which is, I believe this is caviar. Yikes. May I present the row, 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 you're burnt. I can hardly believe it. You've done well. Mrs. Fratinelli had caviar stashed back there. The woman is full of surprises. Very good. This will suffice. And last, but certainly not least... Well, if it isn't little Luca. Hey, Uncle Nuncreed. How come you haven't been around the house lately? Well, your dad and I had a little disagreement, is all. How's he doing? Has he mentioned me? Not really. He's been busy lately. Sometimes he doesn't come home from work before bedtime. Is that so? Well, tell him I'm thinking of him. You seem sad. Nonsense. What can I get you for lunch? Fact of the matter is, I don't have much of an appetite right now. But Uncle Nuncreed, you gotta eat. I'll make you something special. That'll cheer you up. Uh-oh. We gotta make something special. Something special. What haven't we used as a topping? I'm gonna go with this, the smiley face. I don't know if this is correct, but we'll find out. I call it. The cheer's looking at you, kid. One burger with a side of good vibes. Oh, Luca, you sweet boy.
Mr. Nuncreed reached down and patted Luca's shoulder with an enormous hand.
Got a lot of your daddy in you, don't you? I guess so. Run along. I'll do my best to clean my plate. Oh, I think we did it. I think that's all the mini games. Alrighty. It looks like we've got everything we need. Let's get to feeding these folks. Oh, I already fed everyone. You made the food all by yourself. What on earth did you put on the burgers? I just used what was lying around. Oh dear, that can't be good. Thanks again, Luca. Best burger I ever ate. Surprisingly competent. Everyone seems happy. You really are a remarkable boy, aren't you? Yes, chef. All right, that is the mini games completed. Bye, memory of mom. All right. We have done the mini games. We have made all the choices that we have possibilities for, except one. So, in this confrontation of fire and ice, it is time, now that we've taken a break, to hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Looks like I was. I had my suspicions.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly.
It is true, Trav. But in this case, I'm pretty sure we have the prematurely aged via goo problem.
He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom!
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone? Should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Oh, I had this suspicion pretty early on, actually, Winter Fairy. The pieces were aligning quite early on that once we knew the piece where Juniper was already dead and buried, the only person who could have taken her place would be an aged Eleanor. So we knew that it had prematurely aged Beck's hair in that one ending. So of course, if she had gotten fully splashed by the stuff, what else could have happened? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. Yeah, but him and Beck only got a little bit splashed. She got the full dunking, I think. She got, Harley Quinned, essentially. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until Perennial Harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me! These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do we do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago. Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will be all making that choice together. How great is that?
This man is a liar.
Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated... Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please? Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No. I want them to see this. Ah, the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. Remember, his will included something about this totally random stranger kid had to be treated as one of the family. He got de-aged. Yeah. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You've done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No! Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ha! Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Ooh, we got malice. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. Today I am disappointed. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... That's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because you left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty.
Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest?
Ha! You think that puffed-up blatherspike could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire, at your service. Actually, we saw his book in the library, very early on. That wasn't just a random name. And now we know why. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple.
I'm not afraid of you.
Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things had gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you.
You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I have ever bought. But well worth it. Ha!
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Where, oh where can we go now that we've got Malice in our hands? Oh. It looks like the only path left is this one. Oh my, oh my. We go back to Windows to the Soul. I believe this is the branch where Rollo is missing. Iggy has bullied us, and and Beck is the one who ended up being splashed, and we are about to get cornered by someone that we thought we could trust. So, Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. Well, the shame ending didn't get us anywhere.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes. Like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course. I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I checked for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca. You know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. Okay. Running away, running away, running away. Can we duck in the library? We can duck in the library. Is there anything new in the library? No. Can't talk to Jace. Can't talk to the resident librarian. Cato. Alright, nothing we can do here. Running, 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 running. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mama always told me my problems would look smaller once I grew up. But my problems always seemed to grow right along with me. Heavens, I sense big trouble ahead. Alright, that's our foreshadowing. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree. This is all a little more... I agree. This is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It'd be a shame if
The
someone...
two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Okay, we've already been here. That's locked, but we've completed the minigame, so it's fine. Last Chance Diner. Nothing to do at Town Hall. Check the coffee shop. Whoa, no, go back. Nothing here. Can't do anything back here. Okay. Not entirely certain where we're supposed to be going. Oh, we should probably check down here. Nope, we've done all that. We touched all the things. Buds and bulbs. Museum doesn't really do anything for us. Okay. Ooh, here's the new stuff. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modwill. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll.
Oh, I don't officially start till tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done.
Hold, please. Clearance authorized.
Thank you.
Our harvest awaits. Interesting. Whoa. You could get a wrench on the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's junkin', Sonny.
Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be junkin'?
I might as well ask the same thing of you.
Find anything good?
Bah. Ever since Perennial Harvest moved in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking through what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups.
Well, I'd better get going.
I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing.
See what?
Exactly. Alright, well, we can't play in the trash. Anything up here? Nothing there. Chewing on the scenery, looking for the secrets. Old Pickler's Pond. Doesn't look like we can talk to him. We finished that. Nothing in the junk that we can do. Rolo?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo! Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. Dad, what is this place? A warm grin grew across his father's face. A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together. Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. That's up to you. Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real? Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me. Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. And you? The doppelganger choked back tears. I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luca laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, buckaroo. Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers big and small.
And so craziness begins.
Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Stop right there. We're all... Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognize me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rollo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rollo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Ha ha ha, uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it really is you, prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo, only bigger, older, changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Dunno. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look!
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower. But beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang, Pa just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like licorice. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Whoa, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least, I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger? Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah! Take cover! Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So, you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? No. This is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca? This is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rollo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rollo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay. Just need to play it cool. And hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey. What in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You're the one who said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep. Beck! He is! Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed. and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey, but that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more...
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just save it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great, can we get back to the story now? The next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Modwell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we'll need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir? I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the end game, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to Perennial Harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit? Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I will make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You are only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, we're talking about murder, right? Like, actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, as far as we know, Kerr is top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we haven't even topper banana on the field? What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at that warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to make your mom Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome map for my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist.
Aw, man. This has done everything. Holy crap. This place is... this story is wild. Yep. Sharper has been drinking a licorice, flavored green concoction to control his aging. Yikes.
They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat, a modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for.
He did indeed have that bag of licorice.
Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in 1 day, and they each had their assignments.
All right, quick recap. Rollo, you're going to talk to Roxy. Cordially. Without her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me? Cordial is my middle name. Uh-huh. And how do you plan to explain your
He
new...
waved vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
circumstance? Bah, she'll be so happy I'm alive she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Ilona won't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay. That leaves me with Jeff and then Iggy. How are you going to persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Alright, time to go talk to Jeff. And Iggy and Tish. Alright, is there anything... hiding? I didn't finish looking. Map, why you gotta do me dirty? Nah, there's nothing here. Okay. Can't talk to you. Don't even remember your name. That's so sad. Can't talk to you. Everything looks almost set up. Can I look through this? Whoops, didn't mean to go back. Yep, still can do that. Can't talk to you. Check the trash, nothing. Clipboard, can't do anything. Alright. Do you have any insights? Undaunted, he shook his head. Over? No. Endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. But can he really pull through? Sure he can. Can I talk to you? No. Okay.
You ever wondered why an agricultural company employs an army of survey takers? The clipboards? They say they're just trying to make us happy. Do they want to make us happy? Or just figure out what makes us happy? An important distinction.
Oof, Don's got a point. Nothing up here for us. We've already completed that minigame. Can we talk to you? No. Alright, for good luck. We've poked it for good luck. Oh, there's Gus. Hey, Jeff. What can I do for you? Well, I know how much you hate Perennial Harvest. Hate's a strong word. Oh, sorry, I mean... I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So, we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
You see, I knew you kids were all right.
Great. So you'll help?
The joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But... give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Oh boy. We got hide, junk, shit, fight, or crooked. I'm gonna make a poll. There's 5 options here. Hopefully I can make a poll with 5 options. Let's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can do 5 options. We'll give this a little bit longer. It's a 2-minute poll. So, chat, put your votes in the poll. We can do all 5, but which one do we start with? Do we blurt out hide, junk, shit, fight, or crooked? You guys tell me. Please scroll up. Well, look up at the top of chat in whatever window or area you've got it. Click on the poll, throw in your votes, use channel points to fight with chat about which options should be used. And when the poll is up, I will pick the one we do first. I would appreciate it, chat, so much if there is no tiebreaker. This is simply just which word we try first, because we will be able to try and try again until it works. Thankfully. But we've got lots of opportunities to try words, so tell me the best one. If for whatever reason there is a tiebreaker, I of course will make the choice, but I would prefer to do this with all of you, because, well, you guys are the reason why I play games. Time is growing short. Please get your votes in soon, and we will see where we go with this. Well, let's see where we ended up. 50-50 split. A 50-50 split. Come on, chat. You can do better than this. Well, it's between junk and shit. Junk and shit. That being the case... Come on, we're gonna do the swear word first. Let's be honest, human nature. Hey, you guys could have used your channel points. You guys could have used your channel points. I gave every opportunity for chat to get in on this. You only got yourselves to blame. But it's my choice now, so mwahaha. Shit. Yeah, it's all shit. I still ain't helping. Ain't that some shit? Hee.
Luca wasn't ready to give up so easily. He shouted out again.
Well, the second one that I didn't pick was junk. Junk! Yeah, what of it? Sonny, I got more junk than a king has copper. Ain't interested. Oh, interesting. Hide!
Jeff's brow perked up.
What did you say? Go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not afraid.
Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you want about old Jeff, and they all do. But you'll never hear him say I hide from nothin'.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I got just the thing. And while we're at it, that crate could come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gobs should cover it. Put it on my tab?
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning. Well, we only needed 3 choices out of 5. Look at that. Alright. I don't think there's anything going on in here. Nope, nothing. Can't talk to Jace. Bookshelves don't got nothing. I'm chewing up the scenery and got nothing to show for it. How sad. I was hoping to learn more about bees today. Or something new. Can't do anything at the drugstore. Telephone booth?
The phone booth was brand new. Part of Perennial Harvest's Beacon Pines Reborn initiative.
It didn't see much use.
Hey Tish, look who it is. Luca, are you here to try to tickle us to death again? Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of... malice to each other. Malice? Wow, Tish. Smart guy here with his smart guy words thinks he's impressing us. Scram, we ain't interested.
Luca knew they'd need Iggy and Tish to pull this off. He tried again.
Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of... shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately, life has been kinda... crooked, you know? Crooked? Yeah, well, life's always crooked. Get over it, we ain't interested. Iggy, I know we've both been kinda giant bags of shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately life has been kind of... strange, you know?
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering you a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we... hide our hostilities, at least for now? Hide? We ain't no cowards. Buzz off. Oh boy, here we go again. Giant bags of shit.
Iggy gave a reluctant...
Hard, you know? Hard? Well, yeah, life's always hard. Get over it, we ain't interested. Okay. Ah, shit.
Iggy gave a...
Strange.
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we... pull our hostilities, at least for now? Pull? We don't pull away from nothing. Buzz off. Okay, well now we know where all the failures are. We're giant bags of shit to
Iggy
each
gave a
other.
reluctant...
Life's been strange.
Iggy considered the point.
What do you say we... break our hostilities, for now at least? We do like breaking things. Even if a truce means less breaking things. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause some distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luca Van Horn, I'm impressed. After this is all done, maybe you and Trish can come hang out at the treehouse sometime?
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A
treehouse.
single tear ran down Tish's cheek.
I never expected this day to come. How wonderful. Wow, Tish
Chapter
says more than
7.
yup.
Into the hive.
Here we go.
A good heist requires preparation. And thorough preparation takes time, something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. We are locked and loaded on my end. And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence. Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out his arms.
Just stay calm, Rollo. You can do this. Got your delivery here. Delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning. Right.
He had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that it be kept a secret.
Rollo sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Our harvest awaits. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear anything about. Yeah, this is a need to know kind of thing. I'll just check.
He stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this form.
Rollo interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
Our harvest awaits. Wait, that's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir? Our harvest awaits. Ready to light this candle, Tish? Yup. Suck on this, perennial ham fist. Boom. What was
The
that?
distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I've got a job to do.
The clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay. Phew. That was close. Our harvest awaits? Hey, I figured, when in doubt, stick with the classics. Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone. Alright, everyone knows what to do? Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck. In case she needs some muscle. I'll head east to the founder's office. You two be safe. That's odd. There's not even any cups for water. It's a maze. Solomon?
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
Luca? What are you doing here? It's a long story. Are you okay?
A veneer of confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes. How did you know? They brought me here and they locked me up, and when they were distracted, I ran. Dang. Okay, you should stick with me. We've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah, Rollo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't just leave. We can't leave just yet. But they'll catch us again. I've got to do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said Founder. It's just down this way.
Luca happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Knocking comes with consequence. Oh, here it is. So it is. It's pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly unfortunate.
Luca tried the handle.
Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how how we could possibly defeat a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Looks like at least one of the moms did believe. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rolo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked 24601. I need you to get us through. What if someone catches us? We should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friend, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Why does the founder have a pile of books on his chair? Is he really short? Well, yes, he's currently child-sized, Trav. So he had to boost himself up to use his desk. Oh, that's hilarious. Surely you don't have a way to get around the password?
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rolo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the founder uses such a basic password. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rolo, I think this should do it. Bingo bango, doors open, Luca. Luca, you never fail to impress. What is that slippery lout even doing down here? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luca, I think we're close. The next door is marked 13806.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Little shit. Crap. Crap, we got company. Luca, must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this noise.
He quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is. 13806. Go, go, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. Aw, man. No water cups. Rolo! Rolo, are you okay? Rolo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rolo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost him. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two rabble-rousers are coming with us. Nope. make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there. After them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rolo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? Do the clipboards ever actually do anything? That is a good question, Trav. That is a very good question. How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom! Oh, honey, what did you do with your hair? I thought you'd be happy I finally used the young chemist's lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of a growth spurt? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not possible.
Nellie leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the and the enamels of the molars consistent with Tempest liquamine exposure. Is that what you call the junk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on at this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempest Liquamine. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source, infusing small amounts of Tempest Liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time. But it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial Harvest came in to clean up the mess, to succeed where Valentine failed. But Tempest Liquamine is rebellious. Rebellious? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's volatile by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists, yes. I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempest Liquamine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. But you didn't, right?
Nellie sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Meh, these clothes were all hand-me-downs anyway. It sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. I had considered that a possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. That's why we gotta get you out of here. Like, now. Wait! The vial! I finally solved the chemical equation allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luca, we've got Dr. Modwell. Headed your way now. Roger that. Be careful. Alright. Everything's on track. And what is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when they get here. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. Oh boy. We're gonna do him last. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard drink for a hard man? Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly. You're no bother at all. Let's see what else this bad boy has on it. Security system. Time card logs. Payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps not as careless as you suspected. Okay, let's go around to the other side, shall we? Ooh, can we do this? No. Look at the portrait on the wall. He's literally thrown darts at his own son. It looks like the founder was helping Kerr plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. He must have been in here recently. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it! Locked! That was close. When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Rolo. Before we start tossing blame around, is it possible someone ordered a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from the heisting business. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. Everyone else, huddle up. Oops. I think this caper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no! Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Modwell, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Perennial harvest, Valentine fertilizer. All connected by a thread. Yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Ha! Yes, now you've got it.
Tempest Liquimine, you discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Mordwell. Very good. Though the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
The effects went a little too far for my tastes. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present to you the eighth wonder
Before
of
he
the...
could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about it.
Rollo casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a
Luca
taste.
jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him! Luca, over here! Move another inch and I smash it.
She held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or, if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less leniency.
He pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word, if you hand it over now, none of you will be harmed.
A deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there's only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry. He's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Mr. Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think, all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? Ha! I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be a part of something great. But the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luca, your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities, my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three, keep post outside the door. Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any choice. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rollo. You just need some time. Rollo, it's over. We lost. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know, it's just, we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note, hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short. So he left behind a letter with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents... Luca, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did he say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest liquamine.
The color dropped from Luca's face.
Did she? Is she? She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life? That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull. Chapter 8. Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She had had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rollo. Hey, Mrs. Lucas Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh, no. What did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispose with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We've got to stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that.
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I might have retweaked his wonder potion with a little... Ooh. Ooh. Unfortunately, chat, this is where we will leave it. This is where we will leave today's stream. I was just waiting for a good place to break, but here we are nearing the conclusion of the story, and if you would like to see the ending, the true ending, I should say, you're gonna have to join me again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern US time, because I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time. And if you would like notifications on that, follow here, put on notifications. Otherwise, head over to Twitter, do the same over there, and you'll always know when I go live. However, if you've missed anything in this crazy Choose Your Own Adventure story, please jump over to YouTube and hit up the VODs. If you subscribe and ring the bell, you'll know exactly when the VODs go live so you don't miss anything at all, or you have me around when I'm not live. Either way, this is the end of the stream, and because I'm a streamer, I do raid my friends in the hopes that we can all help each other out. So, let us jump over to Irish Panda Queen, who's once again playing Harold Halibut, and enjoy some fun stop-motion game filled with yet another story to enjoy. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and if you're subscribed to me, please, please, please tell Aline, or Ailes, as she's often called, all to give her all my love with my emojis so that she knows you came from me. In that case, we will raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.